Hello, good evening. Thanks for your time. And today my intention is to help you out with a couple of neurobics, which means a couple of exercises for your brain so that you keep it alive. According to this book, Keep Your Brain Alive. 83 exercises according to Dr. Lawrence Katz and Dr. Manning Rubin. My intention is to give you exercise 84, which means keep your brain alive learning languages. A couple of words. Let's begin with greetings. I'm going to say my name and I'm going to start with the languages of America. Let's say I start with Brazilian Portuguese. Boa noite. Bem-vindos a meu canal. Meu nome é Julian Müller. Obrigado. Continue with French. Bonsoir à tous. Bienvenue ici. Je m'appelle Julian Müller. Merci beaucoup. And we continue now with Spanish from Latin America. Buenas noches, gracias por su tiempo. Mi nombre es Julian Müller. Gracias. And now we go to Asia. Let's say what kind of language we can get there. And let's begin with Korean. Aneyung. 감사합니다. Jewi. Imsim. Julian Nidu. Aneyong, Chipsipsido, and continue with Japanese. Konbawa, Watashi wa Julianeru desu. Yokozo, Ohayo gozaimasu. And then we continue with Chinese. Ni hao, Wachao, Julian Müller. Huanjing, Sheksheni. Now let's continue with Hindi. Namaskar. मेरा नाम हुलियांग है. स्वागत है. बहुत तरजवान, बहुत शुक्रिया. Now let's continue with Russian. Добрый вечер. Меня зовут Julian Müller. Спасибо, хорошо. Let's continue now with, let's say, Europe, Italy. Ciao a tutti. Buonanotte. Benvenuti. Mi chiamo Giuliano Müller. Grazie mille. Let's continue with Dutch or Netherlands. Goedenavond. Hoi. How gaat het met you? Welcome. Mijn naam is Julian Müller. Bedankt. Let's continue now with German. Guten Abend. Herzlich willkommen. Mein Name ist Julian Müller. Und willkommen in meinem Channel. Danke. And now, as we have seen, I have got a couple of languages left in here, but the intention is to extend that more and more and more so that you really know that if you have to say, for example, thank you in Swahili and welcome, I can say karibu, asante, or if I have to use any other language like hello in Hebrew, I would say shalom. So, what I like to tell you with this is, a language is just the beginning. You start with a word, and most people that I know and that I have as a student, they think that, oh yes, you can learn the basics. But actually, everything is the basics. Which is, when you start with one word, and another word, what your brain does is like in a puzzle, putting all pieces together. And at the very beginning, it's just to create around 500 phrases, or vocabulary, you might say, better vocabulary, and out of this vocabulary creating the phrases, the sentences, and with them you are able to tell your brain that you can do a little bit more with the language. Remember, the brain just needs a challenge, and the challenge is to learn the numbers, let's say greetings, let's say days of the week. You just type there in YouTube. In my playlist, my intention is to give you this and so much more, because Neurologically speaking, that kind of neuroplasticity, all neuroscientists are talking about, is for you to challenge your brain just with 20 minutes of exercise. So imagine this. If you are having, let's say, some working out for 20-30 minutes, and at the same time, additionally, on top of it, 20-30 minutes of a foreign language. Let's say you begin with the languages in America, like I said before, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and even in English, something new for you in English. Your brain will have the sensation that you're doing something better, something where you pretend to use specific parts of the brain that maybe you never used before. And this challenge has many benefits for you. You have seen that, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I have seen his videos in Gaia, great, about meditation. So everything is about respiration and telling your body and your brain that you are feeling so much better. Out of this thinking, just this mere thought will tell the rest of the organs, listen, we can do so much better. And then you will start creating those empowering habits. And that is precisely what your mind needs. A little bit of exercise, a little bit of drilling, I would say, in the sense of exercise and practicing. Remember, practice makes perfect. So don't get discouraged out of the fact that maybe somebody is distracting you or limiting you or whatever. Because it's like James Cameron once said, I listened that from him, and I think this is great, which is, don't put limits on yourself. And that is true. If maybe you, let's say, started with something and the learning was kind of frustrating for you back in time, maybe university or college or high school, wherever, today is very different. Because today you can select your teacher online. You can select the playlist that you like. You can select the person you feel really most connected with. And you have plenty of tools and resources. And why do I tell you this? Because it's so much better to, let's say, relax, to calm anxiety, to find solutions, to verify all possible information. Remember, our accountability is that we make verification of all kinds of information here. All kinds of information we need to verify. And today is possible. So, out of this fact, we can see where we can get better information, better input, things that we like, things that we learn, and it's always good, like I said, for your brain, for your health, for your general well-being. You make a combination of all of those things that I mentioned before. The working out, the learning of a new language, or learning something that you like, and that you definitely exercise your brain all the time. The body, the human body, the brain and everything is an incredible machine, but you need to use it all the time. Believe me, you can check online and you can ask any doctor friend. He will tell you that out of the fact that you're not using specific parts of your body and your brain, it will deteriorate. But if you do use them, it's so much better for your spirit, for your health, for your, you name it. You know the many benefits you will have in here. And that is how I just not only recommend that book in here. The number 2 is that one by Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge, in where he says that practically your habits. And it starts in the very morning with something easy like making your bed, washing or cleaning your dishes, helping out at home too, and finding out something really good and interesting to read. And if you allow me to say that, click the subscription button, register in my channel, and I promise to commit so much more, not just with languages, but also with all the other issues that I consider relevant and interesting for you. Thanks for your time and your attention. So, Shekhe, Spasiba Harasho, Kamsumnida, Dankeschön, Merci beaucoup, Grazie mille, Bedankt. Muchas gracias por su tiempo.